done all this work. I've gone out, I made content for myself. Great. I've then gone out and bought some software or something like that to help me distribute. Now it's out there. How do I actually convert? What am I actually doing with this? Right. And so the first thing, as I've been alluding to this whole time, it completely depends on your goals. So, and I think there's really two big goals, and I've alluded to. One is brand awareness, and one is actually mortgage leads doing it. And so if your goal is brand awareness, let's start there. Congratulations, you've already won, right? I mean, yeah, let's say for better or for worse, the goal is kind of in itself, right? If people are hitting your page and seeing this post, you've kind of checked that box, brand awareness. The conversion from actually hitting the page, your social page, to hitting your goal, it's basically the same thing, right? So as long as you're posting regularly and you're doing this sort of thing, check, you've done it, great, don't need to worry about it. If your goal is to actually do mortgage leads, I think it's quite a bit more involved, but I think it's doable. Like I've seen a lot of people do it. So I'm going to run you down kind of the quick formula that I see work pretty well to actually take someone from landing on your social media page to actually saying, hey, let's do some business together. And I'm going to focus on Instagram because for the people that have seen be successful, it is primarily Instagram. Now, maybe that's something, a demographic thing. Maybe it's just the nature of the platform. If you're not on Instagram, you probably could apply this to Facebook or some other platforms, but Instagram is where I see works really well, this type of conversion strategy. So the first thing that I'd say for conversions, and like I said, these things are related, is making sure you do have the right content. These generic posts, they don't work to convert, right? Forget about them. You're just wasting your time. If you really want real mortgage leads, you need to have hyper-specific, you talking to the client saying, I am the best person to solve the problems that you have. And so within that, now that I've kind of established, okay, I'm talking to you, I'm trying to solve your problems, there's three kind of, I guess, problems you can say I've seen work well on social media. So the first one is, I'm going to help you with your economic situation, or I'm going to help you invest. So that is one type of content that I see work really well. For you as a broker, you got to decide, am I in that market? Am I looking to help investors? Do I know enough to really provide that unique perspective? But it's really good because it's a type of thing that someone will continue to go back to, and they'll follow you for that, right? Because an investor, that person who really cares about their economic situation, they're not just kind of transactional, just looking to buy their first home. They're looking for continual advice. It's a lifestyle thing. It's something that maybe they're looking to, plan their retirement for. They want to stay up to date. And so that's one option in terms of content. The other thing is just be super, super niche, like more even niche than that. That's like maybe a broader niche. But pick a niche. Like I'll give you an example here. There's one person I follow on social media. All this person talks about is the Smith maneuver. And for those of you who don't know, it's like this, specific type of transaction you do where you can maybe tax deduct the interest on your mortgage. But that's all she talks about. And the reason that works is it's more kind of like, I guess you could say needle in a haystack type of thing, but you're bringing a magnet to it. I don't know if that's the right analogy, but long story short is it sticks in your mind, right? So, maybe I'll never do a Smith maneuver, but if I did, I knew exactly who to call, right? So it's a little bit more of that, right? Where you're not going to get this, huge following of people always watching your stuff all day, but you're sticking in people's mind in a very specific way that could lead to those types of conversions. And the third thing, these are all different types of niches. So maybe these are the three niches I'd say. So there's the investing niche, there's the hyper-specific product niche, and then the third is just a geographical area. So I am going to be the authority on this very specific type of property maybe, but in this very specific region. And so that if you own that type of property, like if you own a house in wherever, Timmins, Ontario, if people know where that is, you're going to be following this account because I'm going to be the person providing always up-to-date market information of exactly what's going on with your property and telling you what's going on and the options available to you from a financing perspective as a homeowner or an apartment owner or whatever in this super specific niche. And again, so you can build that following. So all this content is around building a following, and a niche is a really great way to do that. So you want to build followers that are watching your stuff every single day. So that's step number one in terms of the conversion. So stick with me here. Making that niche content, build a following, and then with that following, how you start telling them how you can help them. Because really all your posts should be about advice, not really selling. But your stories is where you sell, right? Because, people really just watch those stories. It's okay to say, hey, I just helped this person. I just did this amazing job. Stories are more transactional. They're more about, hey, just what I did today. Within that framework, it's a great way to just show how amazing you are, right? So on my posts, I'm just going to give you great advice. But when you're watching my stories, and some people are like addicted to watching stories, they're just constantly looking, trying to refresh and see what new stories are come up. So it's a great way to get these people to watch. And for those stories, that's the place where you can come in and you can say, I just helped this person. I did an amazing job. I got them financing that no one else can do. I did this really unique thing. And if you're in the same situation, let's chat. For whatever reason, I think it's because it's not evergreen and it's more, just very quick and in your face. It works, right? I don't know why. Maybe that's a whole psychological thing, but like time and time again, I see it that actually in the stories, it's a great place to convert them from just a follower, someone who's interested in your advice, to someone who could potentially be a customer by showing them the value that you bring to the marketplace. And then finally, the close, the hard close, you do that in the DMs, the messaging, right? So when you're doing these stories, you should always leave it with, hey, and if you're in the situation, DM me, direct message me. And that's really important because you don't want to take them off the app. Don't say, hey, check out my website. Say, hey, don't send me an email. Those people are like, I don't know, in their car or like, I don't know, doing whatever. They don't want to then like open up their inbox and type something. Like you've lost them. They're gone, right? Keep it in app, keep a hyperlink. They just literally click it and it just jumps over to the DM and they can just message you and say, hey, what's up? Let's chat. And really from there, that's when you start the conversation. That's when you try and do the things you've always done, get them on the phone, show them your value, do a discovery call, and down the line we go. So niche content builds followers, stories allows you to sell with them, and DM allows you to close, right? So following that formula, I see work fairly well.